Hi, and welcome to Speak and Sketch Presents The Art of Teaching. I'm Andrew Lawrence, and together with Paul Joy and Mark Schumann, we make up the Speak and Sketch team. We would like to share our thoughts on the teaching profession using a favourite historical text as a reference point, Sun Tzu's The Art of War. Have you ever wondered what is the most important component to being a good teacher? Like anything in life, it seldom comes down to one event or one element alone. Saying that, if you try to pin down most teachers to the critical aspect that makes their life easier in the classroom and gives them the most satisfaction, it is the relationship they have with their students. It's evident that humans are gregarious beings. I'm a great believer in Vygotsky's social constructivism. He believed that knowledge was created through social discourse. We learn so much from each other, and the relationship between the teacher and the student is crucial for transformative learning to take place. Why do students fondly remember some teachers more than others? For me, I wasn't the easiest student to teach when I was at school, and I found the classroom quite challenging, as many adolescent boys can. I don't have fond recollections of many of my teachers, but I do remember those teachers who took the time to understand me and get to know me as an individual, not just another student in their class. I am still grateful for my 5th grade teacher, Mr. Bailey, for taking the time to find out what interested me and fueling my love for history. He identified that I wasn't a great reader and looked for any angle to help my learning. He introduced me to the Asterix series of comic books to help me read more, and as a consequence, I spent many hours learning about an indomitable village of Gaulish warriors who wrought havoc and created mayhem over hapless Roman soldiers. Not only did it help my reading, but it also cultivated a passion for Roman history that still exists today. I'm not convinced of the historical accuracy of the comics, but am forever grateful to Asterix and his rotund friend, as well as Mr. Bailey. From my experience, it's evident that the most crucial component of being able to teach effectively is the rapport and relationship a teacher has with their students. Let's see what Sun Tzu has to say about relationships. You don't have to go far into his writings to find that he believed the relationship with his men was crucial. Sun Tzu said, "Know your enemy and know yourself, and in 100 battles you'll never be in peril." The author of The Art of War, Sun Tzu, believed that knowledge of those you fight with and those you potentially fight against was crucial for success in the field of war. His insight is not only applicable in a military context, but in any field of endeavour, especially in teaching. Sun Tzu is clear that the relationship between the general and his soldiers is of prime importance, and that with understanding of one's charges, any challenge can be overcome. Sun Tzu's general is the ultimate teacher who, by following his guidance and instruction, will take his forces to victory. It's not a stretch to consider the teacher as the general of the classroom and the students akin to Sun Tzu's soldiers. All teachers know that the knowledge of the student and the connections you make are paramount to their and the class's success. The key point for any teacher is that you don't have to be the student's best friend, and I would advise you strongly against that. But you must connect with them on some level, whether it's through discussing the latest football scores, what was on TV last night, or the latest first-person shooter game. You have to understand and empathise with students and see the world from their perspective to be able to teach them effectively. They are people too, and not the enemy, but part of a team you lead in the classroom. To use Sun Tzu parlance, they are your soldiers and you are their general. However, without that important connection, your students can soon become your enemy, and that's not what anyone truly wants. I know it's harsh to call the students the enemy, but they can be if you don't make a connection with them. By knowing your students, what makes them tick, what they love, what they hate, and how they react in certain situations, then you too can avoid any battles that may be looming on the horizon. When I was on teaching rounds, I was at a reasonably difficult school with many students who did not particularly want to learn and was told by my supervisor not to smile until Easter. That's when we in Australia have our first break of the year. And it was a sign of weakness if you did, and any sign of weakness would mean death in the classroom. As with all advice, I listened and assessed whether it applied to me. I'm happy to say that I never subscribed to the idea of not smiling, and indeed it makes me smile and laugh more thinking about this advice, as that's not the way a teacher should operate in the classroom. A smile is such a powerful tool, and it makes me feel happy, and I think it makes others feel happy too. It's not a sign of weakness, but one of the most powerful non-verbal ways to connect with other people. A simple smile is the scout that creates a positive relationship. By smiling and interacting with students, even those you don't teach, it lets students know that someone cares for them and has acknowledged their existence. In a world which can present many challenges, just the act of smiling and greeting a student in the morning may be the most positive interaction they have all day, and it clearly demonstrates warmth and a connection with that student and your cohort. Coupled with a comment about who they are and what they like doing, will make a profound impact not only on them, but also you, and help cement that relationship. A relationship is transactional and certainly works both ways. I learn so much from students who I teach, and they in turn teach me so many different ways of looking at life. I love this quote I found online from Erin Grewell, encapsulating the importance of a teacher-student relationship, when she expresses the following: "I have learnt that although I am a good teacher, I'm a much better student, and I was blessed to learn valuable lessons from my students on a daily basis. They taught me the importance of teaching to a student, not to a test." To summarise, Sun Tzu was adamant that your knowledge of your soldiers and the enemy was key to winning war. As a teacher, that knowledge and the subsequent relationship have made my time in the classroom enjoyable and rewarding, and helped me to avoid many battles. I subscribe to the notion, I don't just teach a subject, I teach people, and those people I teach me too. If you have any tips or thoughts on this episode, please contact us using the links below.